We have a lot to discuss in today's MMA news reaction. Joaquin Buckley and Daniel Cormier are having heated personal beef. Trust me, guys, this is heated and personal. You have to watch this video. Also, in this video, we're going to talk about the fact that Khabib has allegedly run into some tax problems. And apparently the department has blocked the accounts of the Eagle FC promotion, a charitable foundation, and other companies of Khabib. Remember that Eagle FC promotion, that big, massive promotion that got invested hundreds of millions of dollars into it? It was going to rival the UFC, only to put on Kevin Lee versus Diego Sanchez, and then no other fights of interest whatsoever and completely fade into irrelevancy after hundreds of millions. All good. No problem. We're going to also talk about Darren Till. He's made a comeback, lad. He's back. Darren Till's back, mate. And he's fighting a fucking bomb. He's not. He's fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Anderson Silva beat this guy. So Darren Till should beat this guy, I think. I know Anderson Silva's good, but he's old. Very old. So if Darren Till wants to have any claim that he might be better than Jake Paul, you best look better than Anderson Silva against this guy, because with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., it's not about boxing level. It's literally about, is he actually going to show up after training at all? Because he's an absolute joke of a guy. But that's enough about Darren Till. I'm joking now. Darren Till's back, so we'll talk about that as well. After just claiming that Mike Perry's fighting nobodies, but this is on the Mike Tyson card, so it's a huge spotlight for him. And no doubt he's going to get paid some good amount of cash as well. We move on, though, to the first story. Joaquin Buckley, New Mansa. He had a call out at UFC St Louis. And I'm going to talk about this as well, because this has got heated now. Okay? So basically, this is the starting tweet. Let this be known, DC MMA, Bisping, Chael Sonnen, your mama's raised some hoes. Y'all really trying to twist up my words, knowing damn well what I said in that cage, but it's okay. We can all have some fun. Basically, Daniel Cormier, Michael Bisping, and Chael Sonnen seem to be under the impression, I was watching their reaction videos, it's hard to find a DC and Chael Sonnen reaction video because they refuse to put them in the thumbnail. It's like they're going covert ops on where you can actually see an episode of the good guy and the bad guy, because they literally make the worst thumbnails ever. I'd have no idea it was their show. No, I literally think it was some random MMA no-name YouTuber. If not for like going over it and hovering over it so I can actually see that it's them. First of all, that needs to get out of the way. Make a thumbnail that shows that it's your fucking show. Simple as that. But on their show, they were talking about how he went after McGregor's mum, and started calling her this. And I thought that as well. Because I immediately, after listening to it, went, yeah, he did go after McGregor's mum. In my head, I was like, yeah, he shouldn't have done that, going after McGregor's nan and his mum and calling them hoes. Because when I hear hoe, I don't think of a male. I'll be honest with you guys. That's not where my mind goes. So when Joaquin Buckley's up there talking and calling people hoes, and then I hear, you know, he shouldn't have said that about his mum and that, I'm like, damn, he must have called this whole family some hoes. Joaquin Buckley never called McGregor's mum a hoe. He never called McGregor's grandma a hoe. As far as I'm aware, he's never called his sister a hoe either. I don't think he's ever called his niece a hoe, or his second removed cousin that happens to be female a hoe. I don't think Buckley's called a member of McGregor's family that's female a hoe. What are we discussing right now? But he didn't do that. I thought he actually did, for some reason. I guess it's just hive mind. I'm just a little NPC bot that just goes along with it. But now I listened to it back, I was like, yeah, he never called him out. But he did say that they raised some hoes. So that's interesting. And then Daniel Cormier comes back at it and says, shut up, pussy. Raging out the gate, Daniel Cormier here. And I want to talk about Joaquin Buckley's call out in a second, because they were all saying how bad it was. But I've never seen a call out make so much noise, other than maybe Nate Diaz's for Conor McGregor. I've never seen a call out make so much noise than this. This has gone everywhere. I'm making videos about it. You got DC saying, shut up, pussy. On Twitter, dude. DC's got that testosterone back in him, dude. He's feeling high testosterone today in his mid-40s. He's ready. He just finished a mid-morning yoga session, and he ain't taking no shit on Twitter. Maybe listen. You had a dumbass call-out. You're getting talked about by three of the biggest voices in the game. Maybe listen. It was the worst call-out in history. It was not the worst in history. Is he not going to get a McGregor fight? No. He's not going to get... Yes, he's not going to get a McGregor fight. So it was a waste. But, like, the worst in history. I've heard someone, like, nervously mumble the name of the guy they want to fight next. There have been so many worse than that. Don't let winning a few fights at 170 get you too excited, bruh. This is the guy that will be commentating Joaquin's fights in the future. I do want to mention that. Then he said, don't mention Audrey, which I guess is his mum. I wouldn't have known unless he said that. But, like, he's not... This is like, you know when people were angry at Covington for going at Masvidal's kids, even though he called Masvidal a deadbeat dad? And then Masvidal and everyone went, don't talk about his kids. Don't talk about my kids. He's talking about you using like a gateway of a sentence of your mum, basically. Your mum raised a hoe. He's calling you a hoe. So don't be like, don't you ever talk about Aubrey like that. Like, I hate when people bring that on to someone else. You know what I mean? That's exactly the same thing. Like, Masvidal literally was like, arguably trashing his kids. Colby called him a deadbeat dad, and he was like, don't you ever bring up my fucking kids ever again. It's like, it's not what he's doing. He's going at DC, just using the idea of a mother as a gateway to insult. He's not going at DC's mum. You could say, he's questioning the validity of her parenting skills. If you really want to be a nerd about it, you can say he's questioning the validity of his parenting skills or something like that. But are you going to be a nerd about that? No, not really. And then he said, yeah, you funny pretending like you don't know what I'm talking about still. Exactly. That's exactly what he's just done. He's just done that. He's literally like, I didn't even mean to, but I just answered that in the last minute of rambling. I don't care if y'all say it was the worst call out. The point is you saying I was calling a woman grandma. I know, yeah. Y'all the hoes. Hey. I wasn't a fan of the call out either. But now I am. Because I'll tell you this right now. Let me ask you. If Joaquin Buckley is at UFC 302 and McGregor is there, or just if like every major fighter in the UFC is going to be at the McGregor card backstage, who's most likely to get a passing comment of like pussy from McGregor as he walks past him? It's Joaquin Buckley. Now he'll probably act like you don't know him. But like this puts Joaquin on the map of like someone who's disrespected McGregor. Could he have called out JDM or Shavkat? Yes, he could have called out Burns as well. But these names... Welterweight, there's no matchups made yet, but I'm assuming Buckley was thinking this in the build-up of the fight because he didn't know that Covington had ducked Gary like a bitch yet. He probably was thinking, okay, in my head, let me think of the welterweight division. It's going to be Edwards Muhammad, they're booked up. It's going to be Shavkat JDM, they're booked up. It's probably going to be Wonderboy versus MVP, they're booked up. It's probably going to be Brady Burns. Who else can I call out right now? Maybe he should have just jumped for it on the Burns matchup like he eventually did. But this did make noise, and now everyone's talking about it, and now there's heated beef from it as well. So it kind of isn't the worst call-out ever. And the fact that you're calling it the worst call-out ever is making it not the worst call-out ever, or nowhere near the worst call-out ever. But either way, that's that. They had heated beef. Shut up, pussy, says Daniel Cormier. But I'm telling you, if McGregor's going to walk past anyone and chuck a comment at him at a UFC event, you mad fucking pussy. Look at that fucking state of you mad goblin-looking thing, yeah? You mad loser. Who the fuck do you think you are, you mad fool? You know what I mean? Like, he would most likely be saying that to Joaquin Buckley now. So I think that worked. Who knows? Wasn't the best call out. Was a bit corny. You know what I'm saying? Messed up the lines a little bit. But you gave energy on the mic, Buckley, is what I'm saying here. And they're acting like you just went up there and said, you know, I guess Gilbert Burns could be next. It's not what happened. We move on. Khabib. Well. Khabib Abdulmanapovich Nurmagomedov. Khabib Abdulmanapovich Nurmagomedov. This one's interesting, brother. According to MASH, Khabib Nurmagomedov owes the Federal Tax Services in Russia 306 million rubles. 3.3 million US dollars. When we're getting to 306 million to represent 3.3 million, I don't understand why you can't just call it quits and say, listen, we fucked up the whole currency. Let's start back at zero. If 3.6 million rubles equals $3.3 million, guess what? Just call it 3.3 million rubles. Why do you need these big fuck off numbers for everything? Or maybe I don't understand economy. I'm sure it's more difficult than that. But either way, the department has blocked the accounts of the Eagle FC Promotion, a charitable foundation, and other companies. Russian authorities are saying this and that. Let's show more. Russian authorities suspect that Nurmagomedov may have used the money he allegedly didn't pay to the Russian state to purchase hotels and startups in Turkey and the United Arab Emirates. Oh dear. Now, Khabib has denied this, but I will say, Khabib has actually came out and denied it. We can scroll down here. I'm going to show it. Issued a statement that said that information is inaccurate. They didn't say it was wrong. They didn't say it was wrong. They didn't say it was a lie. They didn't say it was made up. They said inaccurate. They actually, brother, this information about tax debt is inaccurate, brother. We actually owe 5 million. This is way off, brother. We owe 10 million. This is crazy. You guys are lying about this. It's just inaccurate. Khabib continues to engage in business projects and develop them. Now, one of them was Eagle FC. Eagle FC, remember when Ariel was like frothing at the mouth about it because it was like anti-UFC, it could compete with the UFC. Ariel's edging away, you know what I mean? He's getting his tunnel dig. All good. He's edging. Eagle FC, it's going to engulf the UFC with Khabib's name attached to it. No. And all this. That company had hundreds of millions of dollars invested into it. The numbers we were hearing, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Forget PFL. This is the new promotion. And then we got Kevin Lee, Diego Sanchez, and no joke, basically no other big fights. And then, anyone know what the next Eagle FC event is? Never. I haven't heard of it in 2 years. It had hundreds of millions of dollars invested into it. And now it's just gone. No more relevancy. They still did events. Nothing that was in any way upholding a quality that was worth hundreds of millions of dollars of investment in any way whatsoever. So that's always interesting to me. We'll see if Khabib has to fight again. I just think it's funny. I don't fight for money, brother. I fight for legacy. You owe us $3.3 million. Turns out I fight for money, brother. We come back, we make fight. Crazy. Money is not anything to me. I only need Allah. You owe us $3.3 million. Shut up. Stop yapping, dude. Yeah, I mean, Russian government, they gonna get their money, dude. Alhamdulillah, he knows everything. He has the greatest plan ahead. I don't think about money. I only do this for myself. I want to live on... You owe us $3.3 million, dude. Alhamdulillah? No. You'll be getting us that $3 million, dude. Either way. Sucks for Khabib, if it's true. If it's not, if it's inaccurate and he actually owes less, I don't think he's going to have any trouble paying it off. It is interesting, though. I could also see the Russian government pulling some shit like this on him. Trying to get him to fight again. Because they must like it having a Russian guy just winning. You know what I mean? And being the dominant champ. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just were doing this. Was like, yeah, you best get back in there and fight again. Either way, Darren Till comes back, fights Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Yeah, mate, it's fine, lad. It's a great fight, and I fucking torn my ACL again, mate. No, he hasn't torn his ACL. I don't know if he has. He may have done. We don't know about the condition of Darren Till's ACL leading into this. I haven't heard about it in years. Maybe that's because he hasn't fought and lost in years, Darren. But I haven't heard about it. I haven't heard about that ACL in years. So I'm assuming it's healed up. And I don't think you need it as much for boxing as you do for like stuff in takedowns and dynamically defending a single leg and, you know what I mean, balancing on one leg type shit. So I'm all in favor of this matchup. To be honest with you, I thought it was going to be someone else. I actually thought it would be like a Dylan Dennis. I know the Mike Perry and BKFC wouldn't happen, but I think this is Darren Till being like, okay, let me get a win, a legit win, some mic time, and then I can actually like sort of legitimize myself to be worthy of a... It's crazy that he has to now be worthy of, but you get a KSI fight, get a Jake Paul fight. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. Jake Paul loses, still wants to fight. A Masvidal, Nate Diaz winner in a boxing match. There's money that they're just sinking into this boxing stuff with all these other names. And I'm sure they'll happily do that. But I still want to see Darren Till versus Mike Perry, dude. That is the matchup that we've been robbed of about 10 years now. And I don't even think that's an exaggeration. It is an exaggeration. It's probably been about 6 years. Either way, that's the matchup we needed. Come on, man. This is a great matchup, though. It's someone who will get credit if he beats, and it's also someone that he won't be shamed and humiliated for losing to. So it's like a good balance. But Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a fucking nutcase. He's an absolute... He had good moments. Like, he went 12 with Canelo. These comments are saying it, like... But still, like, his discipline is the reason for his lack of success. There's obviously boxing. I'm not saying he would be the best boxer in the world, if not. But his discipline is like a leading factor to why he's ended up fighting Darren Till right now. Let's just say that. So 6-rounder, I'm hearing it is. That's kind of good for him. But I'm going to go Darren Till. I'm picking fucking Darren Till, lad. He's going to knock him out. He's doing him in. Nastiness. Darren Till. TKO round 1, dude. Straight left hand. It's going to work. It's going to work this time, that straight left hand. You ain't seen the variations of the 3 different feints with the lead hand before the straight left hand. And don't forget his epic twist that he sometimes does, where he'll do 2 feints with the lead hand before he throws his straight left hand. And let's not forget the hit classic of Darren Till, where he feints high, low, higher, then straight left hand. And who could forget about his famous move, the feint with the lead hand, then a straight left hand. There's many variations to it. This guy, Darren Till's got one of the deepest bags in MMA. I'm joking. I like Darren Till. He follows me on Twitter as well. So like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye. We're Team Darren Till, dude. He's making a comeback. We've been waiting years for this. This is going to be the avenging. This is going to be the revenge tour of Darren Till. Like and subscribe. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.